In this video, I'm going to explain to you the techniques and the methods I use to make my basketball player puppet. I started with the eyes. Always a good idea to start with the eyes because once you get them attached, you know where the rest of the body pieces need to go. So I made the bulging eyes as per the video on eyes, and I attached them using a ladder stitch. You could also use an overcast stitch. Remember to always go back and review those stitches if you're not sure how they work. Watch the videos, practice first. When you're ready, go ahead and do it on your puppet. After I did the eyes, the next thing I attached were the arms. And I used the same method to attach these. First, I sewed them shut. I made the fingers. Again, if you watch my limbs video, you will see how all these pieces were made. So you need to refer to other videos in order to complete this. Once I constructed them, I stuffed them and then attached them again using, I think I used an overcast here, just quickly attaching them to the body. Once those were complete, I decided that my puppet, because he's an athlete or she's an athlete, they needed to show how hard they were working. A panting tongue was a good idea. So I cut out a piece of pink felt and I just went ahead, I kind of laid the puppet open and I just lined it up deep inside and just used a few running stitches to stitch it in place. Make sure when you do this that it might be better to have one hand inside to make sure you don't sew through all of your layers because you don't want to sew the whole puppet shut when you're attaching that. So be a little bit careful with that. Giving you a close-up view here, the stitches are not the same color and they're not the prettiest, but the reason I don't worry about that too much is because I've put it way far back into the mouth so you don't see that when you have the puppet's head closed up and on top like this. It really doesn't show. So don't fret too much about it. If you only have one color of thread at home, it's okay. I made the basketball separately. I'll give you a quick little zoom in here, holding it up a little closer. So that's how the basketball looks. And to make a ball, all you need to do is cut out 4 pieces that are sort of teardrop shaped, I guess you could say. I make sure that my pieces are double the length as they are wide. So for example, if this measures 4 centimeters, then this across should measure 2 centimeters. If you cut out all 4 of them and start to attach them together, you can imagine how they're going to become a ball. Once you've got them attached, you're going to flip the whole thing right side out, stuff it, and then close it up using a ladder stitch. I used a back stitch to attach the 4 pieces and then a ladder stitch to stitch it shut once it was stuffed. Anybody who has been in my grade 7 course in the past and has made a hacky sack, this is the exact same method, it's just a miniature version. If you need more clarifications, send me a comment or a question and I can try to make a video if that is useful for you. Once I made the basketball, then I just went ahead and used a whole pile of back stitches with black thread to stitch in all of the lines to make it look like a basketball. The last thing I attached on this puppet was the hair. This hair can be tricky to sew, it's wiry, and it likes to get trapped and caught up in your needle and thread while you're trying to sew it. So I highly recommend if you're using this kind of hair piece, don't add it until the very end. Get everything else on first, then go ahead and add your hair. The little sweatband was just a ring of fabric from the other sock from this pair. I just cut it out, gave it a bit of a stretch, and put it on, so now he's got a removable fancy little hairpiece. And that is the basketball puppet.